There is one major reason why Europe's largest economy is going broke right now, and you won't believe me until you see just how bad it is. Before we go into that, however, if you enjoy deep dives and unique takes on current events, then make sure to subscribe for more. Germany has always been known as a powerhouse of Europe. It's been home to famous philosophers like Kant and Hegel, has created influential schools of thought like the Frankfurt School, and has led Europe in numerous wars. But recently, it seems that Germany may not be a powerhouse anymore because its economy is actually going broke. And when I say broke, I mean absolutely flat out. The country's finances are completely collapsing and they have almost no idea how to fix it. And it's a shame too, because Germany has all the makings of a great nation. They have a large population of over 82 million people, a highly educated workforce, and a culture that values hard work. Plus, their exports are some of the best in the world. In fact, Germany is one of the top exporters globally, with iconic brands like BMW, Adidas, and Mercedes. Furthermore, there's many reasons to love living in Germany, whether it's the beer, the food, or even the healthcare. There's also never a shortage of things to do. You can visit museums, historical sites, and other fun places. All this makes Germany look like the perfect country, but underneath the surface, things aren't looking so good. The country is in a huge amount of debt. In fact, Germany's national debt has grown exponentially in recent years, from around $600 billion in 2009 to well over $3 trillion today. That's an increase of nearly 500% in less than a decade. What's worse is that their debt-to-GDP ratio is only getting bigger, meaning that Germany is taking on more and more debt relative to the size of its economy. This isn't good because eventually you run out of money, and that's what's happening in Germany right now. Their government has already borrowed so much money that lenders are starting to get nervous. And if this continues, Germany could end up defaulting on its debt, which would cause all sorts of chaos in the global economy. So the question is, why is this happening? Well, there's one simple reason: too many immigrants. Now, I know this is a controversial topic, but hear me out. When you take in large numbers of migrants, whether they're refugees or economic migrants, it puts a strain on your economy. And that's exactly what's happened in Germany. The country took in over 1 million refugees in 2015 alone. And while this is a humanitarian gesture, it also put a strain on Germany's economy. These refugees needed housing, food, and jobs, and Germany had to take care of them while also trying to integrate them into society. This isn't easy and it's expensive. It's estimated that Germany spends over $27 billion a year on accommodating refugees, and that's money that could have been used for other things. But it's not just about the cost. Immigrants also compete for jobs and housing, and this can put pressure on the native population, especially if there are a lot of immigrants. In Germany, there's a growing divide between those who are pro-immigration and those who are against it. The pro-immigration side argues that immigrants are needed to fill labor shortages and boost the economy. But the anti-immigration side argues that immigrants are taking jobs away from Germans and straining public services. If this continues, it could lead to social unrest, and that's something that Germany can't afford. The reality is that Germany needs to find a balance between taking in refugees and protecting its own citizens, but they haven't been able to do that yet. And that's one of the reasons why their economy is in trouble. Another reason is the euro. When Germany adopted the euro, they gave up control of their currency, and this has had a number of negative consequences. For example, the euro makes it harder for Germany to respond to economic shocks. When the going is good, that's not a big deal. But when the going gets tough, it can be disastrous. We're seeing this right now with the war in Ukraine. Germany is heavily reliant on Russian gas, but they can't print more euros to pay for it. And that's a problem. The same thing could happen with food, or oil, or any other commodity. Germany doesn't have the ability to print its way out of trouble. And that's a big disadvantage. Now, Germany isn't alone here. All Eurozone countries have the same problem. But Germany is the biggest economy in Europe, so it's especially problematic for them. A third reason is the aging population. Germany is facing a demographic crisis. People are living longer and having fewer children, and this is leading to an aging population. By 2030, it's estimated that 30% of Germany's population will be over 65, and by 2050, it could be closer to 40%. This has a number of negative consequences. First, it puts a burden on the healthcare system as more and more people need medical care. Second, it puts pressure on the pension system as retirees draw down their pensions and there's fewer workers to pay for it. Third, it slows down economic growth as there's fewer people entering the workforce. All of this adds up to a perfect storm for Germany, and that's why their economy is in trouble. Fourth, we have low productivity. Productivity measures how much output an economy produces per hour of input, and it's important because it reflects how efficiently an economy is using its resources. Low productivity means that an economy is wasting resources, which can lead to lower growth and higher unemployment. And that's what's happening in Germany. According to the OECD, German productivity has been stagnant for over a decade. This isn't good because it means that Germany is using its resources inefficiently. That's why their economy is in trouble. These are 4 of the reasons why Germany's economy is going broke. But there's a 5th and final reason that's been overlooked. Globalization. Globalization has hurt many developed countries, and Germany is no exception. As businesses have moved to cheaper locations, Germany has lost manufacturing jobs. This has led to higher unemployment and lower wages. And that's made it harder for people to afford basic necessities like food and housing. This has caused a decline in living standards for many Germans, and that's why they're so unhappy. Germany is a great country with a lot to offer the world, but it's facing serious challenges that threaten its very existence. The country's economy is in sharp decline, and there's no end in sight. Unless Germany can address these issues, it could face a future of poverty and despair. Now, it's important to note that Germany is far from the only country facing these challenges. Many developed nations are on the same trajectory, but Germany is a canary in the coal mine. If Germany can't figure out how to solve these problems, then none of us will. Despite these challenges, I still have hope for Germany. The country has a long history of innovation and resilience. I think that if anyone can figure out how to solve these problems, it's the Germans. But that's gonna be tough. If you want to see how tough, check out my video where I detail why China is planning to destroy Germany's economy.